The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Morning Market Kickoff with your host, Tommy O'Brien. Now, Tommy O'Brien.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Tommy O'Brien, coming to you live from TFNN Friday morning, just after 9 a.m. Eastern Time. We got a retail sales number. We got a revision on the retail sales number that comes in high. Don't expect anyone to get fired when the revision comes in high. Nonetheless, that's where it is. And the market takes it in stride this morning. S&Ps, we reach a high of 65.08 overnight. Right now, 6,500 on the dot. Positive by 10 points. NASDAQ 100 slightly in the red. Off by 22 points or 0.1%. 23,908. You have the Dow in positive territory. You have UNH dramatically higher. As Berkshire, Mr. Buffett, he is buying some UNH. I guess it's reached a valuation. And why not? So that's power in the Dow right now. You get the Dow up 0.6%. There's UNH trading up, 11% now? Yeah, from $270 up $30. Yeah, 11%. $30 up to 300. So that's going to lift the Dow. And you jump over to the Russell, up by about 0.4% right now. We jump over to yields on that retail sales. You got the 10-year right now. Now, yesterday on the PPI number, quite a reaction. Today, a little bit of volatility. But you look at the move we had yesterday. You're going to look at the move that we had for the CPI. Today's move, somewhat muted. Retail sales, not as important as some of those inflation numbers. Forgive me, but nonetheless, we'll see if the market reacts. And I wouldn't expect it. It's about inflation right now. It's about jobs. And yeah, there's some strong retail sales numbers across the board right now. And that was just reiterated this morning with those revisions especially. All right, let's pull over the headline for some of the numbers. Upward revision. Yeah. So the value of retail sales, not adjusted for inflation, which is important because you have inflation right now. PPI just went up almost 1%, so you could, but nonetheless, increase 0.5%. It was 0.9% in June. Those are big numbers, man. 9 out of the 13 categories posting increases. Remember, this does not include inflation, okay? Motor vehicle sales. The biggest gain in motor vehicle sales since March. Online retailers and general merchandise. You had some Prime Day and the Walmart Deals Days in there as well. But yeah. Retail sales a slight miss, but when you factor in the revisions, it is a net beat in a big way. All right, we jump over to UNH. So let's take a look at the daily in this. So Buffett buys $1.6 billion worth of it. You're going to open where we were trading about a month ago, $300. You made it as low as $234. It's tough to get a technical read on equities like this when you fall out of bed and do damage in years and years and years. But yeah. Buffett saying, you know what, I'll take this equity at 2018 prices, and that's what he's saying with his money, $1.6 billion, and you're going to pop to $300 today. You're right back to where you were after COVID. As in right around the COVID volatility before you just straight up to 550. Look how long sometimes equities can take to roll over, right? You get a run of 100% acceleration from about 250 up to 500 to the 550 range, and 2.5 to 3 years later, that market rolls over. Yeah, there's not much you can do with this thing technically. You know, you fall out of bed, you do it on volume on a monthly basis, longer term. You got volume at the lows on their last earnings in here. But hey, There's something they said when Buffett sees some value. And we'll see if you can catch a bid. You might be able to get more volume. Yeah, that'd be pretty amazing. You take out last month, you take out July's bar. We've already done about 200 million shares. We did 350 million last month, and this is going to create a little bit of an acceleration. But guess what? There was an acceleration in July as well, just the other way. So that's what's going to be adding to the Dow. One of the other equities to the downside, AMAT. Check that one out, man. Whew. So the outlook trailed estimates. Fiscal third quarter earnings and revenue topped expectations for the fiscal third quarter. But yeah, the current quarter they're in, they're going to miss. And you're going to drop to about the 160 area. Coming back into this acceleration from the beginning of June. That 160 is also where you get caught a little bit of a bid. Yeah, you break through this 160 area, you're going to 130, man. That's it. You're already below the bar you had from their earnings prior, May 12th, when you had some real volume. And that's an important area. That's 160 area. Let's back it up 5 years. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, you break below this 160 area, man. 120, 130. You got lows out here from 2023, lows out here from April of 2025. That's probably where you're going. Look at that last sign of strength, man. Hey, Matt, you're going to open at 160 right now. Yeah, you're going to be below the week of June 23rd. All right, let's jump around to some of the other equities. Amazon shares having quite a little run. You're going to do it again. This thing was just trading at 210 to kick off the month. You're going to be pushing 232. You're up 10% on Amazon in the last 11 days. Man. Now, you got highs out here at 236.53. Okay? Coming into their earnings. It's going to be very difficult to Amazon to get above these on a daily. Let's take a look at the weekly. Yeah, that's not going to happen. Today's Friday. You trade lower on 319 million shares. We've only done half of that, and all we have left is today. All right, Apple up by $1 right now, trading at 233. Apple's been on a run as well. Nvidia, flat right now, 182. AMD, flat as well, trading at about 180. Jump around to some of the other Magnificent Seven. Google shares, man, it's not stopping. Google's going for that high at 208 out there. Yeah, that's the all-time high. It's making a run. So you got some real volume up there. Look at the volume you got on that last high that you made in the beginning of the year. You did it on their earnings, 6 months ago. You trade higher, you break highs on volume. Even on that trade higher that day, coming into the earnings when you're disappointed, you did 28.2 million shares. See what we do today on a weekly basis. Yeah, let's see. You traded up to that area initially on about 85 million shares. You ripped lower on their earnings volume of 140. And what have we done so far? 73. Well, you're going to be able to get above the high volume bar. You probably are. You need about 11 million shares. So Google, going for an all-time high. Now, you're not going to take out that bar, though. 139 million shares on the weekly. Then gave it up on some volume. We're right back at those highs. Tech stocks. Even with the NASDAQ in the slight red right now, Amazon higher. Where's Meta? Meta higher. That equity. All right, folks, stay tuned. We got 15 minutes to go until the opening bell. We're coming back.
If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them, using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento. A pro's pro with over 50 years of experience, Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Building wealth trading in the stock market seems impossible to most people. They think it's too volatile and risky. Most people aren't going to take the time to educate themselves on how to do it right. But you're not most people, are you? At TFNN, you'll get the guidance you need to refine your strategies and techniques to invest like a pro. Because you'll be a pro. All TFNN subscriptions, books, software, and courses are available at TFNN.com. And I'm even going to tell you how to get them for less. Use TFNN's Tiger Dollars and you'll get up to a 20% bonus on your purchase. And once you apply them to your account, Tiger Dollars are automatically used for all future or recurring charges. Tiger Dollars also never expire, are fully transferable, and are a great way to add savings to your newsletters or services. Become the investor you were born to be at TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN has launched the Tiger's Den. Hosted at Discord, TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
This portion of the Morning Market Kickoff is brought to you by Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the direction. Visit Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Welcome back, folks. You have Intel shares up about another $1, and a report breaks yesterday that the U.S. government, they're planning on considering the idea, to get to the headline, of a stake in the chip maker. So I guess America's just going to pick and choose what companies we're going to take private investments in. But nonetheless, that's the world we live in. And he gets a little bit of a shakedown, then he gets a meeting, and then we're going to buy in as investors. Talk about a little volatility, man. Look at that run. Oof. So you're up another 4% coming into that number. Paramount Skydance giving back some of the gains yesterday. You're flat right now. Maybe calming down, but calming down a little bit higher from where you were trading coming into that merger. Flat right now in the session. Warner Brothers Discovery, they had been participating as well. Not quite to the same degree. You're flat as well. We jump over to Netflix shares this morning. Up about $5. There you go. Yeah, what's wild is you got to be up $12 to be up 1%, right? Netflix, $1,230. Yeah, they're talking about this one in the Tiger's Den. Quite a week indeed. But boy, look at that chart, right? You put it on a 5-minute. You say, man, quite a week. You're up 10, 11%, just like that. You put it on the daily, And man, there are just gaps lower all over this chart. Right? You get a gap higher from last November. But aside from that, you come into their October earnings last year, 9 months ago. The gap lower in April. You had tariff concerns, medical concerns. Look at the volatility. Tariffs. Let's put it on a weekly for Eli Lilly. Yeah, that's a rough one. Be careful at around 700 if you're in Eli Lilly. You're coming back in to test the lows of April right now. And, you know, these GLP weight loss drugs, I was thinking about this yesterday. The growth is going to be remarkable. But the growth that's priced into some of the equities is even more remarkable, right? To grow into the multiples that are priced in on those, very difficult when the market is already very aware that they are a prevalent add to society that is not going away anytime soon. But living up to the most grandiose of expectations, proving a little bit difficult. All right. Yeah, this one's always in the news. Hims and Hers. Feels like this company is always up to no good. I see their ads all the time, and they sell hair stuff. They sell the GLP-1 stuff as well, right? But this one has to do with the FTC probing complaints about Hims' cancellation practices. Okay, it's not even what they're pitching. Making it too hard for customers to cancel. They're cooperating, but yeah, it's just nonstop. 2.4 million subscribers paying a monthly fee to access to doctors to prescribe medications for common conditions like obesity, hair loss, and erectile dysfunction. Quite a corner of the market. Hey. Nice triple top going on this year, right? Watch out for this equity, folks. That was a nice sign of strength from those June lows, but look at the selling you just got on those last numbers. And we're going to open down another $1 today. As, yeah, you have an FTC reviewing their cancellation policies. Yeah, Rivian. You know, there's nothing like experience, folks, in terms of, so the news out last night, Rivian says it faces a $100 million hole after relaxation of the fuel economy rules. Okay. Credits. That's the deal. You got less rules. They're going to be able to sell less credits. They're worth less because the companies that are producing all the gas guzzling cars aren't going to need those credits anymore. That's $100 million. Just that quick. Excuse me one sec. Now this equity, man. When they went public, I think their valuation was 80 billion, 60 billion, soared up to 120, 140. They were a pre-revenue company that had reached a $100 billion valuation, okay? And yeah, that's not how it works. Even with the most fantastic of contracts in place, as in working with Amazon, etc. You know, the only thing out here is you're building a floor maybe around $10. You know, you're looking to get in this thing. You're going to open down slightly right now for Rivian. And what are we talking about? How big of a company are we now? Let's see. $14 billion company. Yeah, patience is key here. Not the area to be in. Electric vehicles right now. You had a low in April of 1047. You're probably heading back there. You got a lot of selling last couple weeks. Drive down on their numbers. You're going to open at $12 for Rivian. Let's jump around some of the other car companies. Ford. 1144. Yeah, Jim, I've seen plenty of Rivians, and they look beautiful, man. Beautiful from the exterior. But the ones I'm looking at, I think, are like a 90 or 100 grand. And that's the difficult part of that, getting a valuation to that degree with cars you're pushing out. Now, I know that they're going to come to market with, or if they are, but anyway, a story of valuation, folks, a story of multiples, multiple compression, and yeah. Jump over to GM. Yeah, you compare that to a chart like GM. That was a nice sign of strength coming off the lows on their earnings the week of July 21st. All right, let's check out the dollar as we come into the open. Man, you talk about volatility and rates. We're back under 98. Dollar weakness this morning. Not really helping gold out too much. Gold trading at 33.83. Coming into the lows of yesterday, 33.75. Stay tuned, folks. We're coming back for the opening bell. Don't go away.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern. For free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
If you spend any time online researching trading techniques on how to begin your trading journey, you've no doubt come across many folks who push Forex trading as a way to make big money quickly. Unfortunately, there are equally as many stories of these so-called Forex professionals just looking to make a quick buck off aspiring traders without actually teaching the ins and outs of the Forex market. This is what sets Teddy Keckstack's The Tiger Forex Report off the riffraff. Every Monday, former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member and author Teddy Keckstack releases his Tiger Forex Report newsletter, where he dives into the complex world of Forex and takes time to actually teach you his methods that have made him so successful in the fast-paced and rewarding world of Forex trading. Furthermore, all subscribers receive access to archived live streams of Teddy's, where he provides university-level education to help you in Forex trading. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Forex awaits.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Welcome back, folks. We have the S&Ps up by 4 right now, trading 64.94. NASDAQ starts things off slightly in the red. And we talk about semiconductors. So how about 300%? Semiconductor Semiconductor tariffs coming soon. This was the president aboard Air Force One en route to Alaska for his meeting with Vladimir. And yeah, I'll be setting tariffs next week and the week after on steel and on, I would say, chips, and semiconductors. We'll be setting sometime next week after. It's in the next week or two. 2 weeks. Infrastructure week coming in 2 weeks. These, yeah, maybe not infrastructure, but they're on the table talking about tariffs. It wasn't clear if Trump misspoke about the steel tariffs. He already hiked duties on steel and aluminum to 50% in June. Why not throw it out there? Not like it matters. Details? Come on. Details? Come on. And yeah, where's Apple going to be in that? Where's the rate going to settle? But the market not paying attention as of just yet. All right, and so we pick things up almost at the pre-market session lows. We're right back to where we were at about 6 a.m. Eastern time. Market's trading a little bit lower. Jump over to UNH on that news. We have investors taking some profits on the 11% pop overnight. You're up by 9% as Buffett takes a $1.6 billion stake in the insurer. He loves insurance, man. Amazon continuing the climb, up by 0.7% right now. You jump over to Apple, up by 0.3%. Google, up a similar 0.3%. Microsoft barely in the red this morning, and Meta in the positive. Netflix as well. NASDAQ 100 is down 73 points. And NVIDIA slightly in the red, off by 0.5% right now. AMD off by 1.1%. We mentioned AMAT earlier, off by 11.7% right now. And the meme mania looks to have calmed down for right now. P-Sky down about 7. Oh, there you go, Palantir. Down by 2.3%. What's going on there? Anything? Just a little bit of selling, huh? They make some progress on peace in the Ukraine. Is Palantir going to pull back to 160? You might. Let's take a look at the weekly. Man, that was some big volume last week. That is a nice sign of strength on that weekly basis. Look at that acceleration. Yeah, probably pulling back 170. Just this high volume at least. Trading it down 2.6% right now. So Target under pressure, down by 1.2%. They get a downgrade. Yeah, you get a little bit of a pop. Jump to some retailers. Walmart shares flat right now. Yeah, jumping around the streamers. Disney slightly in the green this morning. All right, let's take a look at crude. Yeah, pressure's onto the downside, man. That's the weekly. Let's take a look at the daily. All right, drifting a little bit lower on lighter volume. That's your 4. And on the daily, yeah, no real conviction on this sell. No pop on the buy yesterday, though. You got a nice green bar yesterday, but you did it on pretty light volume. Yeah, gold's in the consolidation, folks. 3,200 to about 3,450 right now. Let's see, gold flat right now in the session. Silver down by 0.6%. Bitcoin quite the pullback yesterday, reaching an all-time high of 125,000. Ethereum gets within $75 of its all-time high, almost 48.25. We back off a bit. Look at the selling you got in Ethereum too. Some big-time selling there. All right, some of the other movers and shakers today. So SanDisk down about 7%. And yeah, their numbers. So their non-GAAP gross margin, okay, dropped to 26% about from 36%. Margins, man. That's why these tech companies are trading so high. Margins. Got a little bit of margin compression going on in some of these equities. Checking back in on UNH. Yeah, market's rolling a bit. S&P's, NASDAQ, Russell all in the red right now. The Dow, the only one in the green, and the Dow's getting helped by UNH, and that's the only reason it is. All right. Yeah, look at NVIDIA just dropped almost $2, more than $1 from where we were on the open right now, down about 0.7%. AMD off 1.8, just like that. Let's check out some of the others. Oracle in the green by about 0.5% right now. Dell in the green as well. So just seeing the news even last night, I guess. Yeah, so Bezos' mom died last night. That's unfortunate for him. Not that it's going to matter, but to the equity. All right, let's check out Google. Google up by a full percentage point right now. Challenging these highs. We're going to need a little bit more volume, though. Look at this move. Since that acceleration almost a full month ago, lower volume, and we're going to do it again. We're only at 76 million right now. Last week was 96, and we're coming into the highs when you made that high on 139 million. You want more volume on Google shares. Meta, yeah, last couple of weeks, same deal. That week of July 28th, Meta, Microsoft. Jump around to the banks right now. JP Morgan down by 0.3%. And we check out yields. Yeah, a little volatility on that 830 retail sales number, but just taking it in stride, man. It's going to be about inflation right now. The market's somewhat convinced that even if retail sales are doing well, those job numbers, it's going to be about jobs and inflation. Retail sales should contribute to that factor, but the Fed wants to see it not on the upper end of contributing, like PPI, retail sales. They want to see jobs and inflation numbers. Full employment, price stability. S&P's flat. We'll come right back, folks.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
For traders who crave risk, Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs provide opportunities to magnify short-term perspectives with up to 3 times a daily leverage, utilize bull and bear funds from both sides of the trade, and trade through rapidly changing markets. These are highly leveraged ETFs with daily resetting designed for short-term trading, not long-term investing. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the Direxion. For up-to-date pricing and performance, go to Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at direction.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC. Are you ready to take charge of your financial future? TFNN is your gateway to the world of trading and investing. Whether you're starting out or scaling up, TFNN empowers traders and investors of all skill levels with top-notch investing systems, strategies, and techniques. It's time to protect and grow your money with insight you can trust. Join us live Monday through Friday during market hours for exclusive content that moves with the markets. At TFNN, we bring the trading floor to you. Our seasoned hosts are here to answer your calls and questions live on the air. Check out the Tiger's Den for just $1 and follow us on YouTube and become part of our vibrant community. And remember, at TFNN, we're so confident in the value we provide that we offer a 30-day money-back guarantee on all new premium newsletter subscriptions and services. You have absolutely nothing to risk, so why wait? Tune in live to Tiger TV and transform your trading journey, because when you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Welcome back, folks. We got the S&Ps down by 1, NASDAQ 100 drifting slightly lower. We're now down by about 0.4%. You see that acceleration as the market opens. And yeah, some of the leaders, NVIDIA down a full percentage point, just like that. Jump over to Microsoft, hanging tough right now, slightly in the green. Amazon gives back some of its gains. It was up higher. It's up by 0.2% right now. Google holding on to the gains, up by 1 percentage point. On the flip side, AMAT now down by 12.5% to the flip side. Now, we were talking about private equity and 401ks, right? And this is an interesting one from CNBC, and it's just the numbers in and of itself. Family offices flock to private markets with allocations surging over 500% in just a decade. Okay, you're just talking about from 2016. And the numbers they cite here, rising, and this is the number of family offices with allocations to private markets, was only 651. In 2016, it is now over 4,000. Excuse me. I bring it up especially because you think about it, right? The funds that are being created, that are going to be investing 401k funds and target date funds, they're competing with these companies for private equity allocations. And what's going to happen is the really good deals, these smart money funds, are going to be ruthless in the way that they're competing to acquire capital in those companies. And that's not going to happen on the companies that are less so. And so what do you think the higher likelihood is of what's the higher likelihood that the great companies that are hard to acquire end up in your 401k, or that they end up in one of the family offices, or, you know, one of the private hedge funds that go on? All right, UNH holding on to those gains right back above where we opened at 303 this morning. Keeping our eye on NVIDIA as we're dipping low to a 179 handle right now for NVIDIA shares, and AMD off about 1.4% right now as well. Yeah, so the other equities he was in, folks, were the home builders. Okay? He added stakes in D.R. Horton, Lennar, and Nucor. He trimmed Apple and Bank of America. There's D.R. Horton. You're still up by 1.5%. You were as high as 173. Now, that thing's been on quite a run, as we've been talking about. Up from the lows of 110 110 to 166. Lennar, he's in as well. You're up by 2.7%. Is it new? NUE. There it is, Nucor. Manufacturing and sale of steel and steel products. Steel mills, steel products, and raw materials. Nucor. I mean, hey, I like to see Buffett gearing up for the home builders and steel construction. Steel joists, girders, decks. Jump over to the VIX this morning. And we're sailing into a Friday, folks, at 14.79. I wouldn't expect anything too wild right now, as I mentioned. Retail sales, quite a revision. But right now, it's all about the inflation numbers and the jobs numbers. What's going to be so interesting is, can you imagine, we're going to reach this point that retail sales would normally contribute jobs. And they do, right? The economy grows, you add more jobs. But we're on this AI cusp that, and it's not happening quite yet, but there is going to be an area potentially where, you could continue to have some decent, robust economics, some sales. At the same time, the job market could be faltering right now. You're seeing many companies talk about Palantir's like the best example, right? What did their CEO say? Palantir, they're going to grow the company X amount of dollars while they shrink their workforce. That would have blown minds 5-10 years ago. Maybe in the dot-com bubble, it made some sense, but never before. But with the age of AI. And so what's the Fed's focused on? Retail sales isn't going to tweak them out, okay? They are worried right now about the economy only adding 30,000 jobs about on a 3-month basis. And the producer prices are a little worrisome yesterday, because if producer prices are up 0.9%, folks, there's a very real chance they're going to try and push that off. Margins are everything for these companies. And they're not in the business of being public companies by eating margins and not laying off those costs to the consumers or the producers, right? Producers are taking it right now. All right, let's check out some others. So Ferrari, race. I was looking at this earlier. Charge higher from the April lows. And that is a worrisome earnings event. And I think they said something to the degree of, they were going to preserve the quality of their pricing structure. They weren't going to go discount. Yeah, not having the volume on that bounce, though. Tesla shares down by 1% right now, trading at 332. So on a weekly basis, let's see how the week's lining up. Yeah, that's going to be light on the volume. All right. So we reached 65.09, trading at 64.79. All you got to do is get above 64.47 to close above that candle. So we're 30 points above that candle right now, and you're probably going to do it on lighter volume. All right, market's melting slowly here. We just dropped 25 points from where we were coming into the open. S&P's at 64.75 right now. Yeah, VIX rising a bit. There you go, 14.93. We check in on the dollar right now. Dollar trading lower at 97.78. We check in on yields. Okay. Gold continuing to struggle right now. And the Dow, the only thing in the green, UNH, Buffett, up by 10% right now. All right, folks, S&P's down by 12. We got one more segment. NASDAQ off by 135. We check in on NVIDIA. Look at that. That's going to do it, man. NVIDIA down by 1.8%. You're below everything we've done this week. Look at this bar we're going to get. Let's put it on a weekly even. Yeah, not quite. Last week was a big week. But NVIDIA down by 1.75% right out of the gate. Look at that selling. 300% tariffs. Is that spooking NVIDIA? I think they'll be okay. But yeah, AMD off by 1.9%. AMAT, their numbers in the mix as well, down by 13%. One more segment, folks. Don't go away. Come right back.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
The reality is that navigating financial markets can be risky. Markets can be chaotic and difficult to understand. Having the latest market advice can help you turn this chaos into a key for creating winning trades. At TFNN, we understand that it can be hard to find reliable market news. That's why each of our market experts offers their very own market newsletter, a must-have tool for every trader out there striving to find an edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets so you can analyze the market before you trade. Try any of our great newsletters risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Just visit the Newsletters tab on the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Welcome back, folks. S&P is off by 15 points. NASDAQ off by 142. Markets near session lows. But hey, all things considered, right? Almost within ticks of all-time highs across the board. You look at that daily. Not even a weekly, not even a monthly. Just chopping around, a slight give back. A little bit of volume yesterday, though, and watch the volume today. You come into the NASDAQ 100, a number bigger than 500,000 contracts, and yeah, you got some action, man. You're going back to 23.5 where we saw 557. Jump over the S&P. We'll see. As our man Basil Chapman says, the day is young. All right, we'll check in on some crypto. Coinbase, CONI, down by 1.8%. Quite the number when you look at where crypto is right now, right? Gets up to 444, just like that. We're still sitting at 318 right now. You got Bitcoin and Ethereum. Look at Ethereum, up again. Bitcoin down by $245 right now. Jump over to Win, pushing the highs that we've had this year. Let's take a look at the weekly on Win. Yeah. Gonna need a little bit more volume. We just got above these highs we had. Look at that. Last September, you got up to about 105 on 23.6 million. Traded lower on 15.7. Even on their earnings, you're doing 10.9, 8, 7. We haven't done anywhere near that type of volume that we had when we approached it last September. And look what we're coming into. We're coming into April of 2014 on Win. Almost 10 million shares traded at that high before you rolled over. You have a high up here of 16.6 million. Yeah, we're getting above it at 10.1. It's close. Okay, we did it. July 7th. Let's take a look at the monthly. Yeah, we're going to need more volume. Break through this area from the beginning of 2023. Folks, thanks so much for tuning in, kicking off your Friday right here with me at TFNN. Stay tuned. Basil Chapman up next. Steve Rhodes. Fast Market after that. Larry Pesavento. Have a great